Hello everyone and welcome to Shell Point Today for Thursday, February the 4th. I'm Nanfelt. On today's show, we'll learn about mirror image fitness, the upcoming art show and sale in the park, and about the dining options just in time for Valentine's. But first, don't forget about Saturday's outing to experience the Fort Myers Art Fest. This premier art festival is held every year on the Caloosahatchee waterfront in historic downtown Fort Myers. At this juried art show, you'll find high-quality American handcrafted treasures. Also, food vendors provide many choices to satisfy your hunger while you leisurely walk the grounds in this wonderful art-filled day. The cost of the trip is $8 with lunch on your own. Court pickups begin on the island Saturday at 9:15 a.m. So, if you haven't already signed up, contact either service desk today. After you return from the art festival, no doubt you'll be in an artsy mood. Maybe you're in fact an artist yourself and would like for people to see what you've created. Have no fear, because the Shell Point Art Show and Sale is coming up soon. Now is the time to register for your own table to show your creative works. Heather Battey already has a nice spot picked out for you at the Island Park. That's right, there will be art in the park.
It's a great day to be out here in the park. Old man winter has finally eased up on us, and Heather, I've got on short sleeves today. It is beautiful out here, and being out here in this park reminds me of the event we have coming up in February 19th and 20th, and you're going to tell us all about that, right?
Absolutely, and you are so right, Rich. I am so glad that cold weather has passed. Now we're going to have a great day out here. It's February 19th and 20th. It's our Art in the Park, and it's called Artistic Expressions.
That sounds great, and there's going to be all kinds of vendors out here for people to come and look at the art, buy the art,
Yes.
Talk to the artisans, is that right?
Yes, there is going to be probably 20 or 30 artists out here right from Shell Point showing their art, everything from stained glass, lapidary, photography, painting, woodworkers. We have some amazing artists here. Unlike myself, I'm not very artistic.
You're not?
No, I can color.
Well, they'll probably give you plenty of inspiration when you see, because we have some very talented people here at Shell Point that make some amazing stuff, like you said, all kinds of glass work and woodwork and photography. Now, are these people just going to show up and the residents come and look at their stuff, or do they need to make plans ahead of time?
No, you're going to go ahead and call either service desk and register. You can get a form there from either Gabby or Sue, and you can purchase what kind of table you want. You can either have a table with a tent or just a table, and two artists can even share a table if they want to.
Well, that's great. So you need to reserve this table ahead of time.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they just call the service desk. Is there a form that needs to be filled out?
As a matter of fact, you have the form right there.
This is the form here? Oh wow, that's pretty simple.
All the details can be found on the registration form, which is at either service desk.
Now, registration is open right now, is that right?
Yes, you can register now all the way until February 10th.
February 10th is the deadline. So it sounds to me like if you're the early bird, you get the worm. Is that right? Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying, and that's exactly true.
You don't need to
We already
wait.
have several artists already registered.
So people need to act now if they want to get a good table.
Yes,
Now, is there a
absolutely.
limit to how many people can?
Nope, this is open to as many artists that want to participate and as many people that want to come and view and purchase. We're also going to have food trucks and some musical entertainment.
Wait, food. You just said my favorite word.
I did say food.
Food trucks means variety. So
Yes.
it's not just going to be one thing.
No, we'll have 2 to 3 food trucks, and they'll be here from 10 to 2, both Friday and Saturday.
Wow, sounds like you could spend all day here, Heather.
You can.
Not just, looking at the art, but you can come and socialize with your Shell Point neighbors and enjoy some food. You don't have to go out, because you'll be right here where all the action is, and the food will come to you.
Exactly. Art in the Park, Artistic Expressions. It's February 19th and 20th. If you're going to be showing your art, make sure you sign up now. And if you're just going to come and purchase and view it, we'll see you then. Thank you, and stay happy and healthy.
Next weekend is Valentine's Day, and the Palm Grill and Crystal Dining Room have special meals planned.
Come celebrate Valentine's Day with a special dinner at the Palm Grill. Saturday, February 13th from 4 until 8 p.m., you can enjoy live music and entree choices such as filet mignon, lamb chops, prime rib, Florida grouper, and salmon piccata. A special dish, the Loving Couple, consists of shrimp scampi and a petite filet mignon. There's also a sweetheart salad available and special Valentine desserts. Prices range from $21 to $29, and call-ahead seating is available at 454-2059. On Sunday, February 14th, enjoy a buffet brunch at the Crystal Room from 10:30 a.m. until 2 p.m., featuring carved beef tenderloin, carved oven-roasted turkey, roasted sweet pepper chicken, orange roughy, and a variety of hot vegetables. The Crystal's large dessert buffet will include the chocolate fountain. The buffet brunch at the Crystal, just $17.50 on Valentine's Day.
It's almost time for Session 2 of the Health Connections class, Mirror Image Fitness. February 9th will be your opportunity to sit up straight once again in this lively workshop to help with good posture and movement. You'll have a great workout partner for this, yourself. It's your twin in the mirror.
Hi, I'm Heather Battey with Resort Services, and today I'm here with a special guest. I am here with certified group instructor Lindy Smith.
Hello, Heather.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
So we are here to discuss your upcoming Health Connection program, and it is Mirror Image Fitness.
Yes, it is.
Can you tell me about that?
In the past, we've tried to be a little bit different in our approach to posture and movement, and I came up with this idea. It was very well received last time, where people actually work out with their twin in the mirror.
I love that.
It worked out great because sometimes we think we're sitting up straight, but actually we're not. And by having our workout partner in the mirror to cue us, then we can make some tiny adjustments and get used to the way that feels. Plus there's some exercise moves that we do to deploy certain muscles that need to be activated for leading an upright life.
Sure, and when you're actually watching your twin in the mirror, you can actually see your movements to make sure that you're doing them correct.
Right.
So is this a seated or a standing workout?
Well, we start off seated, and I do bring a lot of props, plus you've got great equipment in the room, and then there is some standing up involved if the individual wants to.
Okay. And then, so you're the whole class, you're facing your mirror twin, and you're instructing the class also being in front of them and showing your mirror image as well. How does that work?
You know, I can't give away my secrets.
Oh, okay.
But you're on to me is that basically we start off not looking at the mirror, and then we turn around. So there is a big surprise because people think that they're moving a certain way, and when we do turn around, they realize the difference right then and there. There's an instant recognition of what we can be doing.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think you pointed out posture right away. I think that is certainly one of the first things to start happening is our posture starts to go until you actually pay attention and pull in your core and pull your shoulders back. Right. And I think that's important for all ages to be aware of.
All ages, especially active and not so active seniors, are being given computers and cell phones to keep up on Facebook and email with all their kids. And what I find is more and more of this, and it's an epidemic. Absolutely. And so what we do in this mirror image fitness is try to identify ways that we can control those muscles.
You know, you're right. You point out such a great thing. You know, everybody has their personal computers, their Kindles, iPhones. So we're constantly looking down. So we're always hunched over. I really think this class is going to be very well received, and it's certainly going to be helpful for all of our residents here. This Mirror Image Fitness, Here's Looking at You, is Tuesday. It's 9 a.m. at the Island Health Club, and it's only $8. What a great deal to be with our certified instructor here, Lindy Smith. So if you're interested, please call either service desk and sign up. Thank you so much, and thank you, Lindy, for joining me.
Thank you, Heather.
And stay happy and healthy.
And upright.
And now it's time to take a look at today's happenings, Academy news, menus, and Village Church connections.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Happening segment of Shell Point TV. Today's February 4th, and it's Caitlin's birthday. So everybody, if you see Caitlin, wish her happy birthday today. We're going to start with the 7:15 Health Connections class, Men, Breathe, and Balance. That's in the Health Club on the island. 8 o'clock, we have Men's Golf Association at the Shell Point Golf Club. Also at 8 o'clock, we have the round robin doubles tennis going on at the Woodlands tennis courts. Samba, the card game, will be down at the Woodlands in the Sable Room at 9 o'clock. And at 9:30, we'll have current events being discussed in the game room of the Woodlands. The ladies' match play tennis will be down at the courts at 9:30. 9:30 is also the time that the paddlers meet at the kayak storage for their weekly outing. At 9:45, we have introduction to line dancing in the health club on the island. And then at 10 o'clock, we have America the Beautiful being presented at the Grand Cypress Room at the Woodlands. At 10:15, we have basic line dancing in the health club. And at 11 o'clock, our Susie Q's just running over to Rum Runners or Fathoms today, and they'll have a nice lunch outing there. Here's Caitlin to tell you the afternoon lineup.
Thank you, Bev. We start at 12:45 with Mahjong in the Library Lounge. And at 1:15, the Spot Play Readers will be rehearsing in the Osprey Room. Also at 1:15, Shuffleboard is played at the Shuffleboard Courts. The Stamp Ministry will be gathering in the Stamp Room in the Island Tunnel at 2 o'clock. And the Photo Club will have their monthly meeting in the Social Center at 2:15. We move to 2:45 for a Health Connections class, Balance and Mobility Advanced in the Health Club. And the seamstress will be here for her weekly service starting at 4 o'clock in the Osprey Room. At 4:30, Alcoholics Anonymous will be meeting in the Sable Room at the Woodlands. And at 6:30, Pinochle is played in the Library Lounge. We move to 7 o'clock for Trailblazers Bible Study in the Game Room of the Woodlands. And at 7:30, we have the Southwest Florida Symphony, Symphonic Folklore. That's in the Village Church. You do need a ticket for that. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you right back here tomorrow.
Hello, I'm Terry Kolath with your Academy information for Thursday. At 1:30, iPhone All About Pictures continues at the Cove at the Estuary. I'd like to tell you about new classes coming tomorrow. We have Shakespeare Histories, and we have the iPad iPhone free walk-in clinic in the Technology Teaching Center of the island. Bring your questions for the volunteers.
Menus for Thursday. In the Crystal Room, the Crystal Platter is grilled ham with a baked sweet potato and scalloped apples. The dinner special is the Concert Series Buffet for $16. The soup of the day is potato leek. In the Island Cafe for lunch, the special is a Monte Cristo sandwich with chips for $7.75. The dinner special is Thai night for $8.75. Dinner specials in the Palm Grill are coffee rubbed New York strip for $19.95 or fried shrimp for $15.95. All menus are available 24 hours a day at www.shellpoint.net.
Hi, welcome to Village Church Connections. I'm Andy Hawkins, the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I'm here with Peter Nanfelt, one of our elders, and certainly a person, Peter, you've been involved in organizations, the Christian denomination of the Christian Missionary Alliance for quite some time, and we're actually here to talk about missions of organizations like the church or like a denomination, and the reason for that is that we've been working on and have come to settle on a mission statement, a new mission statement for the Village Church. And I've been here about 3 years and going through a process to get to that place where we can try to articulate what this church is about going forward, and so we've gotten to that place where we're doing that. But we ought to have some conversation about why we do such a thing as craft mission statements. You've been involved with an organization in terms of leadership that has had to consider a mission statement, and so why do we have such things in organizations like ours?
That's an important question, and I think you were right in taking some time to think about this and craft it, because mission statements don't come easily, and they take a lot of work, a lot of effort, a lot of study, and you end up with just a few words. But to get the right words takes a bit of effort.
Well, us preachers have a harder time encapsulating things. We could be expansive and talk forever about something, but to boil it down to a statement that captures the essence of who we are is tough.
Well, I think that's it. It's capturing the essence of who we are. It's the reason why we exist. Why do we have the Village Church? What is the purpose of having the Village Church? And so I think the mission statement answers that question. Why do we have the Village Church? And the mission statement clearly states that.
And what kinds of things have we had to do in order to come to a conclusion? Not that a mission statement is a conclusion; it really isn't. It takes us forward, but there's a process, isn't there, of coming to that place where you can really begin to articulate such a thing.
Right. A mission statement we just can't pick out of the air. It takes a lot of study, research, pondering, in our case, a lot of prayer and seeking God about what He has called our church to be. And so when we did a mission statement for the denomination, we did some research into our past. What was the original intent of the CNMA when it got started? And I'm glad to say that the basic intent of the CNMA has not changed in 125 years. It is to know Christ, preach Christ, and to complete His Great Commission. But our mission statement, formulated a number of years ago, needed some refining. And so in order to do that, we went back and saw the history and made sure we understood that and got input from a lot of people. And then eventually, through a lot of effort and study, we came up with a shorter statement that I think is more applicable. And I think basically that's what's happened here at the Village Church. We did a lot of research and study, and were able to come up with a statement, I think, that reflects the reason that we exist as a church.
Right. A big part of that was what we call strategic planning, and I don't think strategic planning ever ends, at least the way I envision it, but we had to get to a certain place in which we analyzed where we have been, what kind of people we are. We looked at demographic information with respect to our community and the surrounding community. We looked at how God has been moving. I think that's an important part of that planning process, to see what's God been doing. It's really, hopefully, a mission statement for a church isn't simply a human enterprise. It's something that we recognize that God is doing. And then, of course, part of it has to do with the prayerful consideration by the people who have been entrusted with the kind of direction setting, vision casting for an organization. And that's probably the reason why I didn't show up 3 years ago saying this is our this is our mission. That would have been a fool's errand, wouldn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah. And so, how does when you establish a mission statement, how does that help an organization? Obviously, it's based upon what things have happened in the past, but how does that help an organization going forward?
I think it has several practical uses. Organizations, whether they are secular or spiritual, church organizations, can easily get involved in all kinds of stuff. Churches end up over the years adding on this and adding on that, different programs, different efforts. It seems to me that when you have a mission statement that's well crafted, every time the possibility of a new program, a new initiative comes forward, you can test its validity by looking at the mission statement. Is this particular effort going to contribute to our purpose? Is it going to help us accomplish our mission or not? And that's true also with expenditures, what money we may spend. When we spend money for a particular thing, is that going to contribute toward achieving our mission? If it is, we might want to consider spending that money. If it isn't, no, we won't spend that money. So that's a very practical use of a mission statement.
Yeah, the resource allocation issue is very interesting.
Whether it's personnel or money.
Personnel or money, that's exactly right. And of course, personnel a lot of times is money.
That's right.
So you have to pay personnel most of the time.
Right.
So, it's kind of interesting to me. I almost shudder to think that I ought to be able to look at our budget, for instance, and then sort of extrapolate what our mission is. And I'm not sure how valuable, or it's going to be a valuable process to do that. But I'm not sure I'm ready to hear the truth about that.
Because there may be some things in there that we shouldn't be spending money on.
That's possible. Yes,
it's possible.
Yeah. So any of that, it helps us sort of manage resources, make decisions about programming. But what else?
Well, I think it also leads us eventually then to what I refer to as a vision statement, or a picture of what our church will look like. This is our purpose. This is our mission. Okay, well, what does it then look like if we're going to achieve that goal? And you look in the Bible, there are lots of examples when God gave Noah a mission to build the ark, he then gave him a picture of what the ark was going to look like.
Yeah.
And it was all detailed, measurements and all that sort of thing. When Moses built the tent of meeting, same thing. He had that mission to build the tent of meeting or the tabernacle, but then there was a big picture of what it was going to look like.
Sure.
So eventually, I think as we move forward now, we're going to try to describe what does a church with our mission statement look like. And eventually then, everybody goes to work. And that's the strategy part, where we put people's gifts to work in order to achieve that picture. My son-in-law is a builder, a contractor. And it's very interesting. That's his mission, he builds. But then he has an architect make the plans. And then I like to see him go at it because he has the vision, the mission, he has the vision, and then he contracts people that are electricians, that are plumbers, that are other kinds of masons or whatever he needs. And then they all go to work to build that building. And eventually, as the village church, we have our mission. We'll develop this picture, which we have partially in place. And then we get everybody working, using their skills and abilities to accomplish that.
That's right. And I'm really looking forward to that process. And actually, we're sort of in the midst of that next phase of it because I'm preaching through it.
Good.
You know, our mission statement really is building a community of forgiveness, purpose, and hope in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, say that again.
It's building a community of forgiveness, purpose, and hope in Jesus Christ.
Terrific.
Yeah, and so we've already started kind of working through some of that. And what does it look like to be a community, our people of forgiveness? What does it look like to be a people of purpose? And what kind of purposes do we have? And I would think that our purposes would certainly be congruent with the denomination's purposes in terms of fulfilling the Great Commission. And we'll talk about some of those things, and certainly we're invested in a lot of that kind of thing. And then hope, what does it look like to be a people who have great expectations for the future?
Hope in this life and hope to come.
That's exactly right. And so I'm in the midst of preaching through that. Eventually, we'll sort of derive some core values out of that vision, and then begin to look strategically at where we can head in the future.
So it's a big job.
It is a big job.
But it's exciting, you know, because this is what God's called us to do and to be.
I trust so. I think we're at a very good place now. Well, thank you for joining me, Peter, and our conversation here. It's an exciting time for me as the senior pastor of the Village Church, and I think the church leadership in getting to this place where we've taken some time to evaluate, try to chart a course ahead of time, and really craft a very succinct and memorable statement that can take us forward.
Good.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us on Village Church Connections, and we hope to see you very soon.
And that will bring today's program to a close. Be sure to watch again tomorrow as Terry Kolath and Adrian Kerr give us a preview of his class about Jordan's Petra. And we will recap the top stories from all of this week. Until then, this has been Shell Point Today for Thursday, February 4th. I'm Dan Philgreen, thanking you for watching, and we look forward to seeing you again for the weekend edition tomorrow.